Welcome back to the Kiosk Presents. It's January. You might have some lingering holiday bills out there. I know you don't want to think about it, but you really need to. Here to talk about how to pay off some lingering holiday bills and set up a budget is Kimberly Foss, the author of the New York Times and USA Today best-selling book, Wealthy by Design. Kimberly Foss, welcome to the Kiosk Presents.
Thank you.
So how can our viewers make a budget to live within for a daily household budget?
Yeah, this is a great time of year. We oftentimes renew ourselves physically and physically. And so what I like to do is to make your budget something that is meaningful to you, that you can stay within. And, you know, if you have 3 goals for the year within your budget, make them only 3. Don't try to don't try to do 10 things. You're not going to be successful at that. So what I like to teach is the 3 T's, and that is track your expenses, trim them, and then target. So if we're tracking, guess what? We're aware of what we're spending, and oftentimes we can take and actually reduce some of that spending, not too dramatically, that doesn't really hurt us. So we trim those expenses, like, going to Starbucks twice a week. You know, you can trim some of that. When you trim that or cut that back, then we can target it to those overhang expenses from say, Christmas on the credit cards. And that way we're taking, say, $50 a month from where we're trimming, we're applying it to debt reduction, and all of a sudden it's the end of the year and you're out of debt and you can start next year fresh.
Now, is there a way to determine what we should be paying off first? What are our most pressing debts? Is there a way to figure that out?
Well, there's much more a broad spectrum there of a spending plan. So in that, basically there are core expenses. And think about it. If you can't pay your mortgage, you're not really going to, and you don't have a house, you're not going to really worry about a credit card debt. So, the priority is housing, utilities, food, transportation. That should be 50% of your take-home pay. Then you should look at debt reduction, savings, and charity. So if you have debt, we want to target that most expensive debt first. So if it's a 21% credit card or a 5%, obviously we want to pay down that 21% credit card first and foremost. Throw everything you can to that, except for the minimums on the rest. Get that paid off, and then you go on to the most expensive debt next. And then finally, that should be 30% of your take-home pay. And then finally, 20% is everything else. Basically, any other discretionary expenses fall in that category.
Now, also in your book, you talk about living below your means, but within your needs. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, doing this for 30 years, having high net worth clients and watching them grow their wealth over time. Many of the average persons that are wealthy have done that because they live below their means but within their needs. So they determine really what becomes a need or a want. Really, a need is, if you can't wear it, eat it, or drink it, or ride in it, it's not a need. It's not a want. It's a need. It's a need, not a want. Mm. And I like to do two columns. Here is your need on this side, and here's your want on that side. If it's a want, I really want that table, well, put that off for 30 days, and if you still want it and desire it as much as you did 30 days ago, then go ahead and buy it. But take that delayed gratification on the want side. The need sides, obviously, you need to take care of those first.
Well, Kimberly Foss, thank you so much for sharing some good tips. Also, more in your book, Wealthy by Design. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Kiosk Presents in Buffalo and Western New York.
Stay warm. Thanks so much.